Ow. Hi, Scorpios. I just went like this and I hit my tooth. And that hurt. Anyway, this is for Scorpio, for all Scorpio signs, astrology for the month of April. Wow, that really did hurt. Anyway, I like to throw out there, if you are a moon or a Venus sign, I'm more getting into your sensitivity than anything. But if you are a sun or a rising Scorpio, then I'm definitely speaking more about your houses as they are in the core energies. I just like to make sure I throw that out there, because you can always check out your sun, moon, rising signs for astrology, and it'll give you a better, full rounded picture of what's going on emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically with you. And if that's not fitting in any way, if it doesn't seem to be resonating, you may want to check out the tarot, because I've already done the tarot for the month. So you can just check that one out on my YouTube channel as well. Now, Scorpio, all I'm hearing is money. First off, I'm hearing money, and I'm hearing boundaries, rules, walls, boundaries, communication, possessions, finances, joint finances, memberships. I'm getting some self-undoing as well. Self-undoing, self-deception. Your ability to work versus volunteer work. Gossip. Communication and messages and intellect. Really thinking about the thinker side of things within that communication, and if it's healthy. Inheritance, spiritual truths, spiritual urges. Reputation versus hidden self. And communication again. Oh, I'm getting a lot of throat chakra, which could be communication. It could be you speaking it, or it could be the fact of maybe you need to hear it. Some grief, sorrow, shame that comes back to insecurities or security in general. And responsibilities is what I'm getting. There's all the different stuff that Spirit is giving me before I get into the astrology. Now, I'm just throwing this out there before I even pick up the thing and go into astrology, because I'm seeing it and it's written in the stars, and I'm not 100% sure what it means, but I'm being told to give it to everybody. It's kind of like between the 16th through the 25th. Some major energy is about to take a shift. And we're going to look into where that is in your house first, because that's where the sun is taking its movement. But I believe that has to do with when the sun enters Taurus and is coming closer to Uranus. So the Taurus energy is off the chain. Now, it could be a very positive thing or a really bad thing, because Taurus is the bull. It's stubborn and inflexible. But it's also self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, and possessions. So it could, and when I say possessions, I mean like your phone, your clothing, what you purchase, small movable purchases like groceries. So depending on the Taurus energy and the people that you're surrounded with and how they are taking the Taurus energy, it can be an incredibly positive, independent thing of self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, what I was getting was putting it on the shelf. So that might be saying you may be around some people who've put that self-esteem, self-worth, self-value on the shelf. And that would be negative. Because if it's around people who are in that power in positive ways, then securities are going to be more comfortable. But if you're around people who are not, that's where the insecurities are going to come out. And I'm just giving you what they're giving me. This is, you're going to notice most of this, I'm thinking, in between the 19th and the 25th. There's a new moon on the 22nd that takes place in Taurus as well. So I'm throwing that energy out there first. But when I pull up your chart, turn it this way. It starts out April with the moon, not the moon, the sun traveling through Aries, which is your 6th house, which is your daily work, your daily routines, your daily service, diet, healthcare, hygiene, volunteer work, ability to work, careers, being an employee, your everyday mundane tasks. And I can't say this enough, there is absolutely nothing mundane about the mundane. It's the most magical part of your life because it's mundane. It's what you don't even pay attention to that's got that much power, and you overlook it. The people, places, and things of energies in your daily routines that you consume. You've got Lilith here, you've got Chiron here, and the sun here. Is there anybody else here? Yeah, Mercury. Mercury technically moves in on the 11th, though. But this is Chiron and Lilith with the sun crossing through a little bit later around the 11th, Mercury moves in. So this is your communication with your inner wounded healer in that 6th house and those daily routines. So there's most likely something in these daily routines that are not serving you, that needs to be healed, needs to be shifted, needs to be changed, needs to be re-examined. People, places, things, energies you consume in the people, places, and things of energies you do every day within these routines. Again, daily work, service, diet, healthcare, ability to work, careers. It's your mundane task. It's what you do every day. Chiron is the wounded healer, which means right off the bat, he's in Aries, which is a brand new beginning, a brand new start. It's also me first energy, and it's looking for, how do I not have the same cycle start all over again? What do I have to shift and change and heal? Lilith is backing it up with that individuality, because she's kind of like a Mars energy. She's kind of like sexual temptress energy, sexuality, sacral chakra, solar plexus, and asking you in these mundane tasks, people, places, and things of energies that you consume, are you being illuminated? Are you doing routines that invest on you? Or are they investing on other people, places, and things? Because something is here speaking to you about needing to shift it in some form. Then it moves into your 7th house, where you're going to have that Taurus energy take place, your relationship zone, after the 19th. I want to say more between the 16th and the 25th. This is the relationships. It could be marriages, it could be partnerships, it could be contracts, it could be cooperation within contracts or within business situations. It could be your family, your children, your loved ones, your spouses, your parents, anybody you have a relationship with. Anything that you are having to deal with within that relationship, you have a new beginning coming here, a new form of a relationship coming in, whether it's a love relationship or like a business contract. Something new should be coming in here, and it's going to all depend on if those routines are supporting what should be coming in that's new, and have they been shifted. It's also going to speak to you about independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. So being able to be you and get back on track of being you within these relationships, and then allow them this new beginning, new situation, new idea, new direction to actually start to bloom. You're definitely going to feel a rev up around that energy, like I said, between the 16th and the 25th. But the new moon is on the 22nd, and the sun moves into Taurus on the 19th. That's your biggest agenda of what you're going to be seeing over the month. Now, the thing is, I will tell you, everything in astrology is pointing pretty much right at your 6th house, which is what we were talking about, your 7th house, and then it's your 8th house, which is Gemini. Gemini happens to be where Venus is going to be. And this is also speaking about these relationships, along with those daily tasks that are part of the relationship, your daily mundane routines, the people, places, and things of energies you consume. Something's going to need to shift, like I said, because the relationship is dealing with joint efforts, joint finances, joint resources. I said money in the beginning. Is it really joint? Is it really fair? Is it really balanced? I wanted to say, is it really valid? I didn't. That's what they were putting in my mouth. So is the relationship truly honest, balanced, fair, just, and is it valid? Is it really honestly something that you're not making up to yourself? Because this is the rules of the relationships. And if the rules are out of balance, then somebody is doing better than somebody, and there's somebody higher, somebody lower. The idea is to be balanced. This is also where the fertility of the relationship is, where it blooms, where it grows, where it prospers, according to the healthiness of these relationships. Now, you have Venus here, which is bringing extra sensitivity in on top of Vista. So it's the soul fire, really speaking to what is the depths of the truth of these relationships and how fair are they. And Venus is either going to be really giving you that ooey gooey, soft and chewy, where it feels good because you have a good, healthy relationship, or she's really going to be showing you the remorse, the resentment, and the frustration of where it's off balance. Because Venus is not love. Venus talks to us about our sensitivities, whether it's emotional, mental, spiritual, or physical. And in this case, she's going to be talking to you about where the rules are out of balance. The joint efforts, joint finances, joint resources, where are they not allowing for a true transformational change to take place because somebody's higher or somebody's lower? Which is also backing up that new moon on the 22nd, and if that will start a new relationship, a new beginning, a new idea, a new direction. This has to do, coming right back to self-possessions of self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, which is also Uranus energy because it's in Taurus. And if it's more possessive, it's because it's having more insecurity. The less possessive, the more balanced. Now let me see what else. Your 9th house has the North Node in it, which is Rahu. And it'll only be here for another month, and then it's starting a whole new year in Gemini, which will be bringing it back to those relationships again, and what those rules are within those relationships. So the more you're right with it now, the less work it has to do, and the more it can actually catapult you forward next, in the next year when it starts doing that. But for right now, this is asking you to trust within your spiritual truths, your higher self, your I started to say fifth dimension, so they're asking you to get out of the 3D and look at things from a 5D ethic, morals, spiritual truths, psychic energy, psychic development, visions, dreams, higher mind, source energy, true authenticity. This also deals with philosophy, religion, and law, but I look at it as the higher self energy. And like I said, the North Node is here, which is asking you, are you nurturing that to come out? Are you nurturing that fire to be seen? Are you nurturing that higher spiritual authority of you to nurture yourself and your life, and truly being able to trust in it and listen to it with the gut feeling and move forward? Or are you still in believing what everybody else tells you to believe? Believing what their ethics are, their morals, their truths, not your own. And with this being Cancer, it's talking to you about touching base with your inner emotional security and truly nesting in your truth. So it's running out of time of really being able to go, did you get the message? This is what I'm trying to teach you about you and help you understand you so that you can get so much deeper into your own truth. And then it's going to start going back into your relationship zones next year. You don't have anything in your 10th or your 11th house. Your 12th house, you do have a lot of energy going on. The 12th house is Libra. You always want you want things to be balanced, fair, and just. That's what Libra is. But in the 12th house, this is you trying to negotiate with yourself, your inner truths. Negotiating with yourself about your own self-deception, your own self-undoing, your own skeletons in the closet, your own grief, sorrow, shame, blame, fear, anxieties, insecurities. Let me just keep them locked up, and I've talked myself into believing that I solved it. And that I put everybody in. See, Libra energy wants to put everybody else first and put you last. And that's wrong. It's just Libra energy wants so much for there to be balance and harmony that it tends to put everybody else first. But it forgets that it's just as important. So this is saying it's incredibly important for you to acknowledge where you're not giving yourself the true healing you need. Where you're holding on to those insecurities, but they're not serving you. Where you're holding on to your grief, sorrow, shame, anxiety. It's not serving you. This is where you're also having your higher consciousness come in and slapping you around right now. Because it has Haumea here, it has Make here, and it has Yura here, which is asking you to give some sacrifice and commitment to your own healing. Because as you heal this negotiation of denial that you may have within yourself of things that you're not trying to heal, because that means you really have to find true balance, and that means truly putting balance into yourself, not just the outer world, but for yourself. Stop sacrificing yourself. This is asking you to truly see this energy and walk yourself through it with honor and bring that healing forward. But like I said, that's the 12th house. The 12th house, nothing about the 12th house is ever easy. You don't have anything in your first and second house, but your third house is off the chain. Your third house is Capricorn. You still have Pluto here, which now is in shadow up until the 25th when it retrogrades. Pluto is death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, regeneration. It's the change that helps you find the fire of your own spirit. It's in your communication. What was I just saying? Negotiating with yourself the true communication. This is stop negotiating. This is start listening. This is really start getting into the depths of the truth and that communication of what you really need to nurture yourself so that you can actually nurture your life outside of yourself by getting to the depths of that. Jupiter is bringing abundance to this energy. Pallas is making you really see wisdom, see truth and understanding behind it. She's Athena, the warrior goddess, but she's also the owl with wisdom. So she's all about strategic thinking. And again, that brings you right back to communication and trying to out-communicate yourself. This is stop the self-chatter. This is getting back to being you. Getting back to the true you that's not fighting you. The true depths of the healing. And the communication and messages that you have with yourself and acknowledging when this is happening. Now, your fourth house is where you're coming into that true inner emotional security. You now have Saturn here for the next 2 years. This is truly putting new rules, walls, and boundaries up, shifting them, stretching them, taking new actions and trying new things to support that inner emotional security, to support that inner child, your true roots, your upbringing. It's the reincarnation of you and finding what really helps you connect with yourself so that you are secure. Now, Saturn's going to be, like I said, shifting that and stretching its wings and trying new things. But this month, you have Mars traveling through it. This month, it's really speaking into your sacral chakra and your solar plexus, taking passion, action, aggression, your inner warrior, and bringing that out and finding that inner warrior within yourself, your inner SWAT team within yourself, to not only protect yourself, but emotionally connect to your inner security of that root chakra and really recenter. And I don't mean like recenter for the day. I mean like recenter for the month, supporting the rest of your life, finding true depths here. This is a karmic lesson. And it's going to be working on the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus. And it's going to be overcoming insecurities because it's about getting right with your inner emotional security. So, I mean, it's very beautiful energy. And they're saying hold on to your hopes, your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, because that's going to help you set up your drive for what you want to see happen. Now, your fifth house is where that inner emotional creativity comes in, your creative expression, and what really makes you tick so that you can be you. Neptune is here, trying to teach you how to recreate that magic again, like you was when you was a child, how to rebreathe life into it, rebreathe that creative personal interests into your life because it's your interests and you have every right to want to explore them. You have every right to get back to being you and enjoying you. And that means having that creative expression and being able to do those things. And that supports that inner emotional security, which is talking to you again about how you communicate with yourself and where you're changing everything in your life. And then we end up right back into the sixth house. And the 7th house, going right back into where you're shifting things and what's about to shift within your relationships and your daily routines. This month is all about your inner communication with your own inner emotional security so that you can revitalize. I love you guys. Bye.